In this video, I'm going to show you every way you can grant players XP in Fortnite Creative. I've got loads of different ways, like when a player enters a certain area, when they get crash padded, when they pick up a certain weapon, when they kill guards or NPCs, when they get kills, when they break objects, when they fish stuff, lots of different ways. So let's just get into it. So first I'm going to do this one where you get XP when you enter a zone. So what you need for this is a mutator zone, and for the settings in this, you can change how big you want this area to be, but for me I've just left it as default. And then you can change if you want to allow building or firing and stuff like that. But then we're going to need an accolades device obviously to grant the players the XP. So place down an accolades device, and you're going to probably want to rename all your accolade devices so it doesn't get confusing. So I've renamed this to accolades mutator zone. For the name I just put you've unlocked a secret area. And then you can put a description if you want. Put the XP award to a reasonable amount. You don't want this to be too large if the player gets it really often. Otherwise the XP will be imbalanced. So I put this to large because they're not going to enter this zone that often. And then the icon, you can change this to whatever you want. I just put an unlocked icon. And then the really important setting is make sure you put triggering player only to on. Otherwise everyone's going to get granted this XP in the map. And you don't want that to happen. At least not for this. When you go to the functions tab, all you're going to want to do is award to everything from the mutator zone we just set up on player entering zone. Okay, so next we're going to go over the tracker, and there's lots of different ways the tracker can grant people XP. So I'm just going to go through that now. You could do eliminations, you could do eliminated, you could do score, you could do chests opened, you could do lavas opened, players revived, players interrogated, race checkpoint activated, fish fished, weapons fished, props destroyed, shield potions, distance travelled in vehicles and on foot and in air, and distance travelled in general, rounds completed, rounds won, games completed, games won, and playtime elapsed. As you can see, there's lots of different ways you can give the players XP from this tracker. So for instance, I've just done chest opened, and so what you're going to want to do for this is make sure the target value is to 1, because we're going to make sure this tracker repeats itself, so every time they open a chest it's going to grant them the XP. So then you're going to want to put when target is reached to do nothing, because we don't want this to complete the tracker. And then put show on HUD to no, because we don't want this to be on our HUD. And then put the tracker completion ceremony to no, because that is kind of annoying. And then place down the accolades device for opening chests, and I just put the name as chest opens. And the XP award type I put very small, because you're going to open chests probably quite often. And then I put the icon to a chest. And then award resume from the tracker we just set up when complete. I've renamed both of these devices to chest. You need a separate tracker for every type of XP you get award. You have a separate one for the chest open right here with the target value as 1. And then if you wanted it to have a playtime as well, you just copy that. And then for this one, I'd change the stature track to playtime elapsed, and I'd change the target value to say 30 minutes. And if you multi-selected both of them, they will actually save their settings combined. So as you can see, this one only awards received from the second tracker. That's if you multi-select the tracker and the accolade device. Okay, so now we're just going to do, if you have any teleporters on your map, we can grant them XP when they get teleported. So for the accolades device for this, for the purpose of this tutorial, I haven't changed the name or the icon for all of these, as it would take a bit of a long time. So you can do that if you want. I recommend you do that. And then you're going to want to put a water machine from the teleporter on teleported. And make sure triggering player only is to on. And now I'm going to show you how to get XP when you go on a crash pad. So again, I haven't changed anything here, but I put the award type to very small, because you can jump on a crash pad really often. And make sure triggering player only is to on yet again. And just put a water machine from the crash pad on launched. Next, guys, are going to do another different type of playtime XP. This is with a timer, so everyone will get the XP at the same time. So for the timer device, I recommend you put this to around half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and then you can grant the player some very large XP. But for me, I've just done the 1 minute for this purpose of this tutorial. So start game start to on, can interact to no. Completion behavior, you're going to want to put this to restart, so it goes over and over. And then just put show on HUD to no, because we don't want this to be on the HUD. And then for the accolade device, so in this you're going to want to put triggering player only to off, so that means everyone will get this XP in the map. Again, change the name and the icon to wherever you want, and then put award missing from the timer device on success. Next, guys, I'm going to show you how to get XP when the player buys a certain item from a vending machine, an item spawner, or an item placer. So you can drop in whatever weapon or item you want into these different types of devices, and to To put them as a price, all you have to do is, for the vending machine, put a first item, resource type to gold, metal, wood or stone. So for me I've done gold, and the cost of the first item I put 100. And then for the item spawner it's the same, just put gold, cost of item I put 100. And for the item placer, gold, cost of item I put 100. And then in the accolades device, I recommend you put this to, it depends on how difficult it is to get this item. But for me, I'm just going to put it on medium and put triggering player only to on. And then you're going to want to put a water machine from. So for the vending machine, it's on item spawned. For the item spawner, it's on item picked up. And for the item placer, it's on item granted. So those are the different functions for each of these devices. I don't know why they're named a bit differently, but yeah. Next, we're going to show you how to get XP for pressing a button. This is really simple. Just you put whatever settings you want on this button. You can change the interaction time, or who can actually press the button with the class and teams, or times can trigger the button. But for the accolade device, again, change the name and icon to whatever you want. XP award, this depends on where this button is or how difficult it is to get. But for me, I've just put it to very large. And then you're just going to want to put a water machine from to the button on interact. Next, guys, I'm going to show you how to get XP for eliminating wildlife, zombies or guards. You can have any settings you want on any of these NPC devices, but for the accolade device, once again, customize the name and the icon. And the XP award, I put this to small or very small because we're going to be killing guards or zombies quite often. And then make sure you have triggering player only to on, of course. And awards are missing from, so for the wildlife spawner, it's on eliminating. For the guard spawner, it's on eliminating. And for the creature spawner, it's actually on a creature is eliminated. I don't know why it's called differently on the creature spawner, but whatever. Okay, so next we're going to show you how to get XP from triggering a trigger. So there's lots of different ways you can trigger a trigger, which is why it's pretty cool. So you can trigger the trigger by just standing over it, dealing damage to it, throwing an item on it, driving over it with a vehicle. So for me, I've done it by damaging the trigger. And then you're probably going to want to put the VFX and sound effects to off, and also make the trigger not visible in game. And then for the accolades device, again, I put the XP award to large because it's kind of a secret hidden thing. And then the trigger bring player only to on, and awards are missing from the trigger on triggered. Okay, so next I'm going to show you how to get XP for getting revived or eliminating someone. So for the getting revived for the accolade device, you're going to need a down but not out device for this. And then for the accolade device, I put the XP award type to medium, so it's a bit in the middle, and then triggering player only to on, and then put awards in from a down but not out device on player revived. And then for the elimination XP, you're going to need an elimination manager. And then for the accolade device, change your name and icon and whatever to wherever you want. Put the XP awards, I recommend small or very small because players get eliminations quite often. And then triggering player only to on. Just put awards in from the elimination manager on elimination. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to get XP when you destroy a prop or even damaging a prop. So get out the prop manipulator, and then for the settings, you can put affect all objects in zone, so lots of the objects are affected. Otherwise, you could just stick the device to one prop, and then it's only if they destroy that prop they'll get XP. And then put modify prop health to yes, and then you can customize the prop health. So for me, I've done 50. And of course, you can change how big the area is where all the props can get destroyed in. So for me, I've just done one by one. So that's just covering this tile. And then for the accolade settings, again, customize this to whatever you want. I put the XP award type to very small because it's quite easy to destroy this stuff. Maybe if there was only one prop, you'd want to put this to a larger amount. And triggering player only to on. And award in from the prop manipulator. You can either put on destroyed or you can put on damaged or even on harvesting. It's really up to you. Next, I'm going to show you how to get XP when you collect a collectible object. So there's lots of different ones you can do in here, as you can see. There's lots of different options for the collectible object, but for me, I've done a coin. And then for the accolade device, once again, customize this to whatever you want. I put the XP award type to very large because there's only one coin and you can only pick it up once. So this is a good way of granting XP if you want the player to only be able to pick it up once. And triggering player only to on, and awards in from the collectible object on collected. Next, to get XP from a fishing zone. So for the accolades device, once again, customize this to whatever you want, like the name and the icon. I put the XP award to medium. You might want to put this to small because people can catch fish quite often. And then triggering player only to on once again. and then put a war zone scene from the fishing zone on court. And then finally, 2 more guys. I'm going to show you how to get XP when you deliver an item to a conditional button and when you open a supply drop. So for the conditional button, once again, customize it. The XP award type, I put large. It really depends on how often they're going to get it, so put that to wherever you think. Trimming player only to on, and then put awards everything from the conditional button on activated. And then finally for this supply drop spawner, so for the accolade device, you can put the settings to wherever you want. I put the XP award type to large, and then triggering player only to on once again, and then put awards everything from the supply drop spawner on opened. You can also do on the balloon is popped, or even on crate destroyed. I hope you guys did find this tutorial helpful. I've covered most of the ways you can get XP in Fortnite Creative. If there's any more that you want to know about, make sure to drop them down in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe for more tutorials, and thanks for watching this video, guys. Peace.